Hey guys, what's up? Coach Radigan here. I'm going to talk to you guys today about the hip hinge. Some of you are like, what in the world is a hip hinge? But understand the hip hinge is one of the most fundamental movements that is so important to who you are in your health and what you do with fitness and what you do with athletic performance. And so it's one of the most foundational movements that you will do in regards to strength training as well. So if you've ever done this movement, learning how to do the hip hinge properly it affects you in certain movements, like if you ever do cleans, if you ever do deadlifts, if you perform like an RDL, or if you do a good morning. All of those movements, exercise movements, they all incorporate the hip hinge in some way, shape, or form. So as you're looking at these videos, I'm just going to kind of talk to you from the ground up on how this movement works. So very simple. What you're doing is your feet are set underneath you about hip width. You don't want to be too wide. You don't want to be too narrow in that. And you're going to have a slight bend in your knee. You might hear it sometimes termed as like soft knee, right? I don't want my legs locked out. I don't want them bent even more. I want a slight bend in my knee. And all you're doing in this movement is you are pushing your hips backward, okay? Your torso is actually doing the dip movement, but you are going to keep your hips, you're pushing your hips backward. And as you push your hips backward, you're going to keep that lumbar curve in your back. You don't want a rounded back to happen in this. Now, if you have tight hamstrings, or if you're a little bit more stiff and you struggle with some mobility, what you're going to see is you're not going to have the best limited range of motion. And so when doing these movements that you're seeing in the video, it's slow and controlled. It's never explosive and fast and just rushed. We want to isolate our posterior chain here. So again, my feet are about hip width apart. I have a slight bend in my knee. I push my hips back and I let my upper body do that dip motion or that hinge motion. So again, mastering the hip hinge is so important and vital for movements like the hang cleans, deadlift, RDLs, good mornings, anything like that. So I hope this helps. Make sure you focus on form.